Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a very refreshing time at the movies. After I saw Avengers Endgame and was just looking for an escape, something to really take me out of the stale Hollywood formula, I was very happy to get this. People didn't like this, and I want to discuss what people didn't like and why I liked it because I think this is a movie you're either going to love or hate, and I was very much on the love side of it because so much of those elements that detract people are appealing to me. This is a movie that has been called meandering, it's been called slow paced, and it's also been called nostalgic and self indulgent. It is all of those things. I don't think it's slow paced though. I think it just is very deliberate in focusing on certain scenes. Very heavy emphasis on the Manson Ranch scene, which was about 20 minutes. Tarantino compared it to a horror film. He said, I've never done a horror movie, but I'm going to do this ranch scene that's going to be kind of horror like. And it's not really horror like, but it's cool and it's tension filled and it has great casting and the costumes are great. This is throughout the whole film. So it all just clicks together. This is the most different film from anything Quentin Tarantino's done. It's a whopping 161-minute love letter to Hollywood, and it works perfectly as a single-engine, multi-layered, kaleidoscopic, and sometimes surreal depiction of a few days of 1969 Hollywood. First, this makes La La Land look below it. What needs to be stressed about this film is it's unique from any other Tarantino movie, and it rightfully deserves its solidarity. Tarantino films have been attached to violence, excessive swearing. It's all people can think about sometimes. This film takes a break from that, and it's just about the movies. You know me, I love the movies. It's about the changing times, the need for a major star in Hollywood. That's not to say this film doesn't have Tarantino's classic cinematic techniques. I love how he uses voiceover and title cards to include exposition in a more interesting and condensed way. It's also surprisingly, it feels paced better. This is a backlot vision. It's Tarantino's passionate look at 1960s TV and film, and he does a great job of building a lovely palette of gorgeous set pieces, juicy character dynamics, and they all fit into a climax that will leave some shaken. I'll admit, the first time I watched this, the ending surprised me, but upon a second viewing, I realized there's really no better way to end this film. Tarantino has created a movie about his characters, in his world, and he spends the entire runtime focusing on only two main characters, Rick Dalton and Cliff Booth. That's why the movie is so good. It uses the Manson family as a MacGuffin. Not only does it feel like one of his stylish narrative trademarks Tarantino uses, it doesn't take away from the film's story, which is really an impactful lesson about age, relevance, nostalgia, and the passion of filmmakers and actors alike. The film, more than anything else, can be summed up as being well framed and paced. This is like Pulp Fiction, but without a constantly suspenseful narrative or a thrilling chase driving the dreamlike movie. It feels closer to The Big Lebowski than anything Tarantino's done before. Instead of having a plot about gangsters chasing a briefcase, Nazis taking down the Third Reich, or a slave teaming up with a bounty hunter to kill a bunch of racist pricks, this film is just about backlot Hollywood 1969. The change in style is an absolute great choice for Tarantino. It allows him to operate more freely without having to introduce predictable moments of action or violence, something that especially Tarantino fans would expect coming. There are many great sequences of driving. I love the scenes in Almeria at Dalton's house on the movie set. It just felt so relaxed and laid back. When characters drive or go to a party, I'm not saying, where's the action? Where's the fighting and shit? I don't care about that. I like just watching characters have a good time, especially in this beautiful escapist setting. 1969 Hollywood. These are all famous actors played by famous actors from today. So it's really cool to just see what a time capsule of a movie this is. How it just puts all these old films and references into one film from today. I loved it. The color grading, some parts of this dragged. That's my only complaint. Like the Almeria sequence where he is in Italy. That's not even that long, but the sequence where he's at the ranch, it's a little long, but that's it. So many little Tarantinoisms. The rat stuck to the floor. I also felt the scene would have been more memorable had Burt Reynolds not passed away before he could record his scenes. This isn't a film for casual moviegoers. I had several walkouts during my showing, but I couldn't tell that the people who left just didn't want to see this type of movie. You will find this film slow, but I did seem to notice that what people took out of it was the film's dedication in showing how these spaghetti westerns are made and the long recreation of television series from that era and the filmmaking process. I don't know how you couldn't enjoy it. There are some great performances too, from Margaret Qualley and newcomer Julia Butters in an awesome role that reflects today's Hollywood climate. While Leonardo DiCaprio is great as Rick Dalton, his first role in 4 years, it was Brad Pitt that really stood out to me. As a stuntman, Cliff is the ultimate supporting character. He's a badass. Both Rick and Cliff have split up amounts of screen time across the nearly 3-hour movie, and they have many scenes together, but Pitt radiates coolness. It's something I haven't really seen him channel since the 90s. I mean, he's brought this back several times. Look at Burn After Reading's Assassination of Jesse James. He does these cool roles, but this is such a time capsule of a performance. Just in that swagger, that Paul Newman, Steve McQueen swagger that he seems to emanate. DiCaprio's character is more at the center of the struggle for the film, so having the chilled out, confidence boosting, dog loving Cliff Booth not only was a tribute to buddy dynamics like Redford and Newman, but it just adds a whole other flavor to the film that makes it more about Dalton's struggle. It's a beautiful story about the last days of an innocent age, and don't think too much about it going in. The trailers did a perfect job of not lying to you or showing you anything important. The choice to stay devoid of consistent classic cinematic violence Tarantino's known for paves the way for a heady, philosophical, funny, and still ripe with color character study. It's absolutely amazing and immersive, and it only gives the final 15 minutes of this film more power. Margot Robbie is also amazing in this film. I get why people are upset because she's in this very little, but also those people are pussies. She represented success. She was representing Sharon Tate and showing how a beautiful young actress was killed at a young age, and she never got to see other decades of fame and positivity and happiness. I mean, this centers on her character for a very specific reason. You're meant to feel as if she is in the background kind of enjoying life. She's meant to be walking to the bookstore, buying Tess the D'Urbervilles, because she's just, this is what Sharon Tate did. And those little Easter eggs that are in there, I think if you really care about the film, you really care about Hollywood in the 60s, you will probably enjoy everything Tarantino's telling you, because this is his film. This is from his generation. This is his opus. And he does a great job. This is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and it is everything Once Upon a Time in Hollywood should be. You have succeeded, Tarantino. And I really liked this movie.